Good day, good people. My name is Tanabari Kabul, and today I just want to make a video about my recent achievement of me passing Salesforce's Advanced Administrator exam, aka Platform Administrator 2. And I just wanted to make a video detailing my experience taking the exam, kind of give some tips and tricks, study material that I would recommend to those that are interested in taking the exam, and just provide more insight around the exam. I'll just give a little introduction about myself. So I have been working in the Salesforce ecosystem as an administrator about 5 years now. I got introduced to Salesforce 6 years ago, and then I started as an end user, and then I made my way to the back end of Salesforce, working more as an administrator. Have passed Salesforce admin exam. I passed platform administrator, business analyst, and a couple more Salesforce exams. But I felt like right now was the time for me to take advanced administrator or platform administrator 2, just to kind of add more credentials and also just make sure I'm up to date, just testing myself against Salesforce exams. I always wanted to achieve advanced administrator because I always felt like it was a step above admin and also platform app builder. Even though all those exams, we have admin 1, we have platform app builder, and then we also have advanced administrator or platform administrator 2. So I always felt like those exams are very similar in their nature, but I always felt like advanced admin added a level of more depth of knowledge when it comes to the Salesforce platform and being an administrator. Also, when you're applying for different jobs, employers like to see checked off as something that you have within your resume or, in your list of certifications. So I just feel like advanced admin, if you engage in that exam and are interested, I do think it adds a little bit more depth to your knowledge. And I think employers think that as well currently within 2025. That's kind of the background of why I took the exam and what I think about the exam. So let's dive into some of the material and how did I kind of prepare for the exam. So I'll dive right into my tool that I use and leverage to pass my Salesforce Platform Administrator exam. The tool that I leveraged was really focused on Force. This is what I use for all my Salesforce exams, as I find it very helpful and it helps me pass my exams. I think they have a lot of great resources, so I would definitely recommend Focus on Force. Focus on Force. As you can see, we have topic exams, which cover each topic of the exam, and you can practice answering questions for each topic specifically. And then they also have focus review exams, and then they have full practice exams, which I leveraged a lot. And then also question bank, right? So I leveraged all of these tools, take questions from each of these exams, and also leverage these practice exams as well. And how I would take my practice exams is that I would take the exam, but for questions that I felt that I needed more information on or just felt weak about, I would research that feature. So for instance, if I had a question on security and access, I would say it was regarding sharing rules. I would research sharing rules from Salesforce help articles, and then I would also build a sharing rule within my dev org, and then I would just get more insight about the features. That way I can answer the question in a better way. So taking the exam, understanding the questions, but also researching the features as well is how I studied for this exam. And I think that was very helpful for me. So that's what I would definitely recommend. Spend some time within Salesforce, but also understand these questions. So one thing also to note about Salesforce exam questions they are a little bit tricky. So taking these exams help you get into the mode of answering these type of questions, because their questions are structured a certain way where there's certain information that is useful, certain information that can be disregarded, and just understanding the answers that are available and choosing the best one for that question plays a very key part in passing your exam. So this is a tool that I would definitely recommend leveraging if you're interested in passing this exam. Let's take a look at the exam guide for the Salesforce Certified Platform Administrator 2 and kind of get more details about the exam there. So we'll click Get Exam Guide, and then we'll just take a look. So really quick about the Salesforce Platform 2 exam. The Salesforce Certified Platform Administrator 2 program is designed for individuals who have an extensive experience of seasoned Salesforce administrator. The audience description states that the Salesforce Certified Platform Administrator 2 exam is intended for an individual who has a significant experience of performing as a Salesforce administrator, including hands-on experience applying the skills and concepts noted in the exam outline in the exam section below. So let's take a look at the exam section. As we scroll down, we see about the exam. Passing scores is 65, 60 multiple questions. Time allotted is 105 minutes. And it is a $200 registration fee, but also $100 retake fee in case you do not pass. And if you don't pass, don't feel discouraged, because I took this exam in March and I didn't pass. Don't feel bad if you don't pass, right? There's many opportunities to retake the exam. Here's a couple of super badges. I didn't leverage these, but in case you are into super badges, those are cool for you. And exam outline. So I won't dive into each topic. As you can see, all the topics on the exam are here. But I'll just dive into the ones that I feel like are most important. I'll start off with process automation. Solving business problems that require a level of automation within your system and understanding what tools are available and when to leverage them. I think one thing that is pretty big about process automation section for me that I experienced was push of flow, right? So if you get asked certain questions that I saw regarding this topic, it would ask about like what automation tool would be better out of process builder, workflow rules, flow, or Apex. And 9 times out of 10, it was flow. So flow was pretty much a big part of this section here, I would say. Because this exam is more focused on declarative automations, it was very rare that we had to leverage Apex for answering questions here. But as you know, Apex is leveraged. Your flow automation just can't do that business process. So that's my take on process automation. There was fairly a significant amount of questions regarding that. Next, I'll dive into security and access. This was also a very big section. As you can see, it's 20% of the exam. And I think all of these topics were covered on the exam. Sharing model, understanding territory management was also big. Role hierarchy, understanding when to use it and how to leverage it. But also person accounts, understanding what person accounts were, and also contact to multiple accounts. Those two topics, person's accounts and contact to multiple accounts, were interesting for me because I haven't leveraged those in my day-to-day work. So those were kind of newer topics for me. Even territory management, I don't really use that much. So those were a little tricky, but once you get those down and pay high level attention to it, you'll understand Salesforce security, be able to get those questions correctly. And last but not least, the topic that was very heavily covered on the exam was object and applications, right? So understanding relationships within Salesforce objects was very key, knowing when to use a junction object and how junction objects are used, record types, understanding the schema builder and its features was very big on there as well. And then, but also just application things like understanding like record pages and lightning pages and page layout configuration and assignments. Those were very key. App manager was another big one. App menu. So understanding those parts were very key part of the exam. So those are the parts that I focused the most on. Other parts I definitely spent time on there as well, though. So that is my overview of the exam guide. So in closing, I just want to say, make sure that you take your time studying and preparing for the exam properly so you feel confident when you go into the exam. If you put in that work, just feel confident in yourself and you'll do great on the exam. I want to say that, in order, I would say actually building in Salesforce and having that hands-on experience is very key with this exam because they ask questions that are in depth. So as you're studying, make sure that you're actually building as well, and getting more familiar with the platform. But outside of that, make sure you're very, well understanding in the structure of Salesforce questions and how the questions are asked, understanding how, to eliminate unnecessary information and also eliminate answers that don't align with the question, and just looking for the best answers, outside of, in the question, in the answers that are available. So yeah, just be confident in yourself. I'm wishing everybody the best that's taking this exam. Best regards. Till next time. Bye.